Hey, I wanted to review another classy perfume, and this particular fragrance is an inspired fragrance from YSL Paris scent, and it is called Emilie by Fragonard. A Fragonard perfume company, similarly to Moulinard, is a French perfume house that specializes not only in creating different perfumes, more or less on the affordable side, similarly to a major designer perfume price range, but also sells bath and body products like hand soaps, lotions, and so forth. And the Fragonard store is located in Paris, but they also have factories in Grasse region in France, where most perfume companies, the French perfume companies, and their factories are located in. As it is historically a region that grows different plants, different roses, and other florals for perfume creation, for bath and body products, and so on. And also, it is possible to visit both Moulinard and Fragonard perfume factories, have guided tours there, and also Fragonard's store in Paris, in Madeleine district, actually has a mini perfume museum that you can also visit and listen information about different fragrances and also about the Fragonard company history. But if you want to create your own perfume, or for kids, it's also possible to try out some perfume creation mini workshops. It is possible to visit both of these fragrance companies, their Grasse workshops, Grasse factories, and many museums, and do that there. But of course you have to sign up first, because it is a very popular thing to do, and you won't be able to get there in last minute, because the bookings will be fully already booked. And talking about the Emilie by Fragonard, as I said before, it is a fragrance, as I was told back in the day, that was a fragrance inspired by YSL, Yves Saint Laurent Paris fragrance that you can still purchase these days. You can still purchase also the original YSL Paris, as well as Emilie by Fragonard fragrances, and they are more or less similar scent profile-wise, but not identical. So it's just a mere inspiration, as you might know. Copying and also naming another company's in another company's name the particular fragrance, it is not considered a legal activity, and it is considered a breach of the intellectual property rights of this company. So, of course, there are many companies that create dupes, for example, Arab perfume companies of modern perfumes, but of course that is typically unofficial and typically a legal activity if they name the specific product as a copy of this another company's particular scent without their permission. However, the Emilie Fragonard scent is a brief inspiration, and I remember visiting the Fragonard Museum and listening about this particular fragrance, about Fragonard perfume history, and this is just something that I wanted to talk about. And this particular scent is a fragrance with white floral, rose, powdery, violet, floral, woody, fresh, amber, and citrus notes. I absolutely love violet perfumes, so of course I like this one as well. I haven't tried the original YSL Paris fragrance, but they have both the original fragrance that is still manufactured today, as well as their modern version of the Paris fragrance. I haven't tried neither of these, so I can't say how similar the fragrance is to the Fragonard version. But of course, French perfumery in general actually relies quite heavily on red florals, also white florals, different combinations of rose, jasmine, and violets, quite often mixed with woody notes. So it wouldn't be that original to actually use these particular notes, as they have been used since the beginning of 20th century quite actively with the rise of actual fragrance companies and that are mass-produced fragrance sellers. And fragrance notes are linear. So the classical perfume composition is pyramidal, so top notes, middle notes, and base notes. Top notes lingering the quickest and base notes staying the longest. However, this particular scent is linear, which means that the rose, violet, sandalwood, jasmine, amber, lily of the valley, and orange blossom are more or less combined and intertwined together without necessarily creating the base, top notes, and mid notes as such. And overall about the perfume, you can purchase it in the glass bottle in EDT or EDP perfume concentration, as they have many options in regards to the sizes in the gold bottle or gold flasson. From very small 50 milliliter one to much larger ones, so also in the sample size versions. So the scent company has many different options for different fragrances, up to different perfumes that are very light concentration wise in EDT and could be used as a home fragrance as well, to an everyday perfume or EDP concentration. So there is a lot to choose from. And a particular fragrance I think really does remind me of the movie of Emilie by the French actress in the main role, Audrey Tautou, which talks about this lady, a young girl who works as a waitress at that moment and looks for her love in France. But at the same time, really it is a story about looking at the world differently from not necessarily rose-colored glass, but a different, more artistic and maybe just tactile perspective in life. And this scent is a very velvety scent. You can definitely feel the sandalwood. You can't really feel Lily of the Valley separately, but it's just mixed together with other fragrance notes, and it is a very almost velvety violet, rose, and sandalwood scent with a hint of jasmine. It is on the warmer side, and if you love violet scents, that you might like this particular fragrance as well. It's not as powdery as Guerlain fragrances with violet notes in them. And at the same time, it is a nice warm sandalwood scent, and somehow a little bit reminds me of Guerlain Samsara, the modern version and not the vintage one. I haven't tried the vintage. And it is a warm velvety scent. Longevity is kind of middle when it comes to projection as well. You can feel it around for first couple of hours after spraying it, but it's not a fragrance that will last multiple days, so you have to keep on reapplying it midday, or just simply settle with a more of a skin scent. But you can feel it. It's a nice scent for a signature scent. And when it comes to the formulation, it is qualified as an EDP and not EDT, so it should be more concentrated. But for example, the similar scent profile of Yves Saint Laurent Paris is at the moment, to my knowledge, only sold in EDT concentration, so a lighter concentration. So I guess that even if you purchase a similar fragrance by another brand, it will still be more or less the same and not super long lasting. But for a kind of pink red floral with a hint of jasmine, with a hint of sandalwood, it is pretty decent longevity wise. It's not too overpowering, but at the same time, it is a fragrance that personally I think that would suit the most for a brunette or a warm, warmer kind of darker clothed lady. It is a lady's fragrance, definitely, and it is a kind of almost a lipstick scent. If you know how vintage 80s, 90s lipsticks smell, it has some quality of a vintage lipstick fragrance. And it is very feminine, it is classy, it is elegant, it has some feeling of 90s, I would say, 1990s. So it's light vintage quality, but at the same time I think that it is still modern, classy enough to be able to wear it to office, to be able to wear it as signature scent or an evening scent. The quality is quite decent for the price. Of course, you can't expect niche quality fragrance for a more affordable perfume range, price range scent, but at the same time, it is very feminine. It is a classical French perfumery piece, so you would be supporting by buying this scent French perfume companies. Same way as if you purchase a Molinard or any other similar brands, and as it is not a particular niche perfume company, for example, that would sell their bottles for let's say 300 euros a bottle, then of course you get what you pay for, but it's still a nice quality. It is more or less the same quality as you would get if you purchase a fragrance from a designer perfume range. And many people highlight that this fragrance has some vintagey quality, a vintage perfume, not perfume, but a vintage lipstick smell, and it is truly more oriented towards 80s, 90s perfume lovers, but it is quite timeless and sleek nonetheless, and it is a rose violet scent. And also, as I remember it from many years ago, and I have tried it recently once again, it is a fragrance that you most likely will love if you have owned this particular fragrance back in the day. Of course, they have many different other fragrances, for example, Grain de Soleil and other scents in the perfume range from also the vintage fragrances that have been manufactured in early 2000s or 80s, 90s, remakes of different perfumes from, let's say, early 2000s or late 90s, but at the same time, they also have newer scents that you can also try on that are kind of on the lighter, more floral range, as well as many bath and body products and EDT of the toilet and room sprays and also scented sticks, things that you can use to make your home smell nice or car or workplace smell nice, as well as mini decorative fragrance soaps and other nice luxuries that you can definitely gift if you visit France and want to bring some souvenirs back home. It is a nice scent. I do like it. It's not an everyday fragrance that I would want to reach out to personally, but if you like vintage scents, if you like violet fragrances, and if you don't mind some nice sandalwood veil in the fragrance notes, you might like this fragrance. And you can order this online as well as visit their store in France, and so it's more or less accessible, but of course you can't buy it in every perfume store locally. But they do offer and send some mini samples of EDT fragrances in little wet wipe format, so that you can try the fragrance out. If you purchase another bottle of different scent, they will send you samples and you can try them on, and afterwards, after trying them, you just put in your closet and just or for the whole closet to smell nice. And they do also send catalogs of the fragrances if you have ordered some of their products online. So it is possible also to order a scent from a different country, not just from France. And they do ship the fragrances. So that's all for today. Bye.